I'm with Shai Diego Hope, West Indies wicketkeeper, batsman and captain of the 50 over team. We know how prolific he has been over the years in white ball cricket. We know how fit he is as a cricketer and his desire to keep on winning. But what makes him tick? What makes Shai so successful? Today we're going to find out. Shai, how's it been? Firstly, you're back home after a while. How's it been back home?
It's always a pleasure to be home, especially just coming from those long, grueling tours sometimes, especially when you're on the losing front. Just nice to get back home and have that refresher, especially with the family and close familiar faces around. Just give you that boost to start back again.
Sure, before we get into how much you put the work on the field, how do you relax off the field? How do you switch off that needed time clock for cricket?
Yeah, like I said, we are blessed living in the Caribbean first and foremost, and here in Barbados we have some very nice beaches, and that's one place I tend to frequent quite a lot, and I think that's my go-to spot. I think a lot of people who know me or close to me would tell you the same thing. But for me, just to get there, be one with nature, listen to the waves crashing, reflecting on life, just appreciating all the good things that I have in my life, my family, my friends, people who look out for me for over the years, and yeah, it's just trying to embrace what life is. So I think being in Barbados with the nice beaches, the scenery, the atmosphere, it helps quite a lot.
You think that approach to be able to switch off and switch on, it helps you a lot, especially when it comes to captaincy and how to deal with pressure?
Yeah, you need to. As a professional athlete, obviously I can only speak on me as a cricketer, but it's a lot that goes on, especially at the highest level, and being able to manage the pressures of international cricket and professional cricket, and obviously knowing that we have the strong support systems that some of us are blessed with, you have to appreciate it, because a lot of times when you don't perform, whether it's as individual or as a team, and when you get back into those four walls inside the hotel room, it kind of hits home even more. Sometimes when you don't have people around you who you can relate to, let's say firsthand. But then being home, it just gives you that sense of relief sometimes. But having said that, I know that international cricket is a pressure sport. Well, cricket in general is a pressure sport, but internationally, you know how difficult it can be. So just having that support system, I'm really blessed with.
Tell me something. You talk about your support system. We know it's documented that when you first start international cricket, things didn't run that well for you from a run's perspective. Some time away from the team, some really good runs in first class cricket, you got back into the team. Then there was the issues of strike rate and all these different talks in the media. Firstly, how much did you listen to outside talk about your cricket?
I actually don't take it on. That's just me being brutally honest, because I am one who does whatever the team requires. Now, people from the outside could say they need Shai Hope to do this, they need Shai Hope to do that, but that's not what the team requires Shai Hope to do. So I'm also one who tends to just focus on what the team requires. And again, that's part of the support system as well. So when they can allow me to settle into the team plan even more, not worry about the outside noise, it also helps my consistency, whether it is in front of the stump or behind the stumps. But yeah, it's a lot of noise that you can get sometimes, especially being a leader too. But I'm one who tends to try to absorb as much of that noise for my teammates. Let me put it that way. But
that is sure something, I guess, in the captaincy era, since you've been captain, you've really taken on a lot of the criticism that are leveled against West Indies. But even though you stated that you don't really listen to the outside noise, I still think you made a concerted effort, or maybe more than that, to up your strike rate. And now, I think your strike rate is just over 100 or about 100 right now in for the last couple of years in ODI cricket. What did you see the reason for that, or is that a change in team plan as well?
Again, part of the team plans, we see how cricket is evolving, the white ball game is evolving now, and we can't continue playing the same we have been over years, and we haven't been having the success that we would want as a West Indies team in general, in all three formats. But just trying to find a way to get more wins. And I think, like I said in previous interviews, the first the first chance that we get to throw that first punch is something that I want the guys to understand, and the importance of it too, because a lot of times, especially from a batting standpoint, if a bowler knows that you're coming at him, let me put it that way, he's under a bit more pressure rather than just bowling whatever plans he has and settling to his spell. So that's just from a batting standpoint. So I just think that when we take more initiative as a group, as a team, then we find ourselves growing in different stages. But I also know that it can be fixed overnight, so it's progression that we're looking for.
I just wanted to know though, was it a bit of a technical change in your game to become that more, I guess, the modern day ODI batsman, or was this all mental, that you wanted to be more dominant against bowlers generally?
I would say it has a lot to do with the mindset. And like I said before, it has a lot to do with the team plan and the way we're going about our cricket now. And for me, as long as you have that positive mindset, knowing that you're always looking to score, and it's a philosophy that I have, I'm trying to score off every single ball. And that's how we should look at it. Every run counts in cricket, so if you can maximize each delivery, it doesn't necessarily have to be a 4 or 6, but just trying to score on as many deliveries as possible. So if it's a case where we have to work more on our skill sets to get balls into gaps more often, to put away bad balls more consistently, those things. But I guess the mindset helped the technique or the transition, if you put it that way. But it was based more around mindset.
And even in that, I wanted to stop in quickly about your T20 game. At the start of your career, I don't think anyone, or most people, would have said Shai is going to be as good as the T20 player you're becoming now. Tell us about that journey, I guess, getting into more the T20 mode of cricket.
Again, it's just trying to adapt. I think that I am good enough to play all 3 formats of the game. Something I always wanted to do growing up. I watched a lot of cricket on television. I took note of some of the greatest players, see what they have been doing. And I wanted to be known for someone who's winning games in all 3 formats. So if I have to change my game slightly, whether it's the way I go about my innings, then I have to do that. Because like I said before, I always want to win. So I'm going to do whatever the team requires for me to win. I have to strike out 200 in a game, then that's what I'll have to do.
Just about T20 cricket, I know you had some success with the Barbados side, the Barbados Tridents, I think it was then, but you really have become a part of the Amazon Warriors. How much have you enjoyed this camp and obviously the opportunities that they give you?
Firstly, they welcomed me with open arms. I really enjoyed being around all the guys here. I played with them over the years, so no one is unfamiliar with me right now. But again, it's a different setup, different way of doing things, but they certainly welcome me with open arms, and I'm happy to be around the setup. Hopefully we can transfer some of these wins into a title.
Yeah, I just want to ask you about that. Being, I guess, you're part of this family, and you know one of the biggest burdens or hurdles over this side, it's not about you guys' ability, it's about that elusive title. You can't run away from it, it's something that's always popping up.
Yeah, again, you can win as many games as you want in a tournament, but if you don't win the last one, which is the final, then you're second best. Yeah. So we need to keep pushing. I see the hard work that we've been doing over the years. I can see it from the outside, even when I was playing with other franchises. And the camaraderie that the guys have and the willingness to go that one step further, I can definitely see it happening. And I can see it happening this year.
Yeah. I'm happy to hear that from our Warriors perspective. But I want to know quickly, this group, there's Romario Shepherd, Akeem, Paul, Kevin Sinclair, Junior Sinclair, there's some other guys, Ramon Simmons. And you're captain of the ODI team as well, how enthused are you about this young group that you have to really challenge for that next World Cup, our 5th over spot?
Yeah, I think it's a good spot to be in as a leader, especially with so much talented young players in the West Indies, but it's something that we were never short of, talent. So it's about understanding how we can nurture that talent and get it into more consistent performances on the pitch. Because we see what they can do. We've seen it over the years, whether it's from Kimo, because Kimo was one of those guys who we saw has so much ability, but whether it's from injuries, whatever the case may be, just little things that always keep us back sometimes. So we need to find that thing to make it click. The talent mixed with consistency, and then I can see us being a strong elite team.
Ending on a light note, whenever we at Newsroom post any photo of Shai Hope or anything if you're training, it trends so much. The likes, the comments. For the fans, especially back in Guyana, what is something that they don't know about Shai Hope that you would want to tell them?
But what if I don't want to tell them? That's the thing.
I think you would want to tell them.
Yeah, sure. You know, what I show is what I want to tell. Let me put it that way. But again, I am very, very easygoing person. I think that a lot of people will see me. They may not necessarily see me smiling too often,
exactly,
but I love a laugh. I love to be in a joyful mood. So that's probably one thing people may be a bit unsure about.
I think this may be the first time you've ever heard you speak so much.
Well, I can't speak on that. I can't speak on that.
But this CPL though is something you're really looking forward to, and hopefully a message to the fans back in Guyana that maybe September 24th we're having a big party with that title.
Yeah, again, I love the work that the guys been putting in over these last few weeks, and I could see it transferred into a title win. So this year must definitely be our year for Guyana.
How we play. It's how we play.